The mammal I chose for my presentation is the platypus, or
Ornithorhynchus inatus.
because I am unable to pronounce it. Now, what you should do is listen to the audio while I go through the slides, or you could just watch the video too. Now, platypuses live in only two parts of the world as of now, and that is on the coast of Australia and the Tasmanian Islands. They're warm-blooded animals and like to keep their temperature at 32 degrees, even though they can survive really any temperature, as the precipitation is really none. It really just depends on how they feel. And this is what a den would look like for a platypus. And as you can see, there is one in there. And those are the Tasmanian Islands, to where you can find them. Now, platypuses are at the very top of their food chain, which is very unique and not what you would think. But their role is to keep basically the big bugs and small fish under control from overpopulating and basically destroying the rest of the resources for the rest of the animals in there. Now, what you could see them eating is perch and really just bugs, like big bugs. And they're usually found in rivers too. The things that hurt the platypus the most is terminated habitat loss and pollution. We really kick a lot of the animals out of their habitat and put our houses to where they were, because they were in creeks and rivers and small little watery areas like that is where they usually live. And then the third one, which is not as big as the other two, but still a big one, is hunting. It's horrible. Don't hunt. Stop. So, some ways you could really do it is to stop hunting altogether. Do not disturb a platypus if you see it. Don't spook it, startle it, or do anything that could agitate it. Plant native plants along the stream bank. It will protect the bank and give more prosperous life to it, which would then in turn give more food source to the platypus. And really just clean up the rivers. Like if you see a random bottle in there, just pick it up and throw it away, because that will make a huge difference, and I mean a huge one. Now, haploids versus diploids. I'm not the smartest, and I couldn't really find anything. What I did find was they have 52 chromosomes in both sexes, or 2n equals 52. And it was too confusing unless I wanted to copy and paste it, but then it wouldn't really be my own knowledge, so I decided against that. But you know how they have a weird X and Y's with their genes, though. I love that photo. But yes. Now, mutations. Platypuses don't really have any severe mutations as they go through. The only severe one is when they're trying to lay their eggs, as they don't give birth to live animals. And what that does is it really just stops them from giving birth and could really just kind of kill off the platypus population from them being unable to give birth throughout their lives. But you can get some mutations in there, like a shorter bill, or like you can get mutations, but nothing really bad happens to them. Now, their gestasis period is short. It's on an average to 2 weeks, and they give about birth to 2 times. They give birth about 2 times from June to October. So, and that's like once per year. So if they get lucky, they can give birth a couple of times within that area, or lay eggs in that area. And they live, and they can actually start breeding from the age of 2, which is a good representation of when they're fully grown. So I would say this is about maybe a year old, maybe half a year old, somewhere in between there. But they live from 17 to 22 years, which is pretty big. That is also Perry the Platypus if you're confused. And that is it. Thank you for watching.